All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS, whom rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers. And peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners, whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh by Shemal Shai. All right. And what I want to get into this morning, is dealing with, Esau being rejected. Okay. Because as we go into the Bible, it tells a story, okay, of two men, okay, Jacob and Esau, who will become two nations. Okay. And the fate of these two nations are complete different polarities. All right, as you have one nation, okay, uh, that's destined, all right, to live forever, to become immortal. And then you have another nation that's destined to eventually be exterminated out the earth. Okay, so when you go into, okay, the fate of Jacob and Esau is two different, okay, polarities, man. All right. And just dealing with Esau being rejected, when you go to Genesis 4:1, it says, and Adam knew his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. All right, and you have to read this in the spirit, to understand, that this is a spiritual, okay, overtone, okay, that's playing out now between Jacob and Esau, what we seen between Cain and Abel. And she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time, and you go into the keeper of sheep, which Yahweh Shai is likening to what, that good shepherd. King David, was a shepherd. All right, Moses was a shepherd. You see, and Israel is constantly likened unto what, sheep. Okay, it says in the process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground and offering unto the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect, all right, unto Abel and to his offering. And you read this in the NLT. It says Abel also brought a gift, the best of the firstborn lambs, all right, from his flock. The Lord accepted Abel and his gift. So Abel's offering was accepted. All right. And Abel's offering represents obedience. Okay. Because Adam, being the first priest, Cain and Abel knew what to offer. Okay. So Adam was the first priest, and Cain and Abel knew exactly what to offer. Okay. So Cain did what he wanted to do. Cain represented being willful. Okay. Cain represented being rebellious. You see, having no respect, of Yahweh by Shem Al Shai. And Abel represented obedience. He represented a reverence to the Heavenly Father, and it was accepted. You see, and we have to liken these things unto behaviors that we see playing out now. You look at the behavior of Esau Edom, all right? It's a rebellious, do as thou wilt spirit, okay? And then you look at the remnant of Jacob, all right? The tribes who are waking up, okay? It's a spirit of obedience. Okay, it's a spirit of reverence, okay, that's being accepted. Okay, verse 6, it says, and the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth, and why is thy countenance fallen? Okay, so why art thou wroth, and why is thy countenance fallen? Because he was rejected. And here it is, he did wrong, but he's angry. Okay, even in the scriptures, when just men would do wrong, they would be sorrowful. Okay, they will have a contrite heart. Is King David, said a contrite heart, the Most High would not, reject. You see, let's get there real quick. Because even, as we understand, we're in these bodies that are not perfect, so we prone to go off. Okay, but Cain, he did wrong, and he was angry. Okay, it reminds you of someone we know. Okay, here it is. This man is dead wrong. Okay, but he's still angry at what? The righteous, man. Okay, Psalms 51 and let's go to 16. It says, "For thou delightest not sacrifice, else would I give it. Thou delightest not in burnt offerings. The sacrifices of the Most High are a broken spirit." Okay? "A broken and contrite heart, O thy power." All right? "Thou would not despise," man. So when we do wrong, the Lord accept, he dealing with us when we're broken because of the wrong we've done. Because when we're broken, that's when we really can learn. That's when we really can make the adjustment. That's when the Lord really can instill righteousness in us, when we're broken from the wrong we done. Okay? So Cain, all right, here it is. He offers the wrong thing, and then he's angry about it. Okay? That's the devil, okay? That's in rulership now, man. That's the spirit that he's in. Okay? He rules the earth in complete anger. He's dead wrong in everything that he does, but he operates from a position of anger. Like he's been wronged in some type of way, man. Okay? Now let's go here, and this rejection goes all throughout the scriptures, man. So let's go here to the book of 2nd Ezra 3 and 16 as it starts to go into their chosen line. So we'll begin at 13, beginning with Abraham. It says, "But then," this is 2nd Ezra 13. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 3, verse 13 in the GNT. It said, "But then you chose Abraham. You loved him, and to him alone, all right, in the dead of the night, all right, and secretly disclosed how the world would end." Okay? And it says, "You made an everlasting covenant with him and promised him that you would never abandon his descendants. You gave him Isaac, and to Isaac you gave Jacob and Esau. You chose Jacob, and his descendants became a great nation, but you rejected Esau." Okay? But you rejected Esau. Esau was rejected. That's the theme of the lineage of Esau, is they're rejected, man. Okay? And when you go into this word rejected, let's get what it means. You see? The Lord's not pleased, okay, with Esau, man. When you go here, it says to reject. It says a rejection, to elect, to set aside, to block from inheritance. Okay? You see that? So it says to reject, to eject, to set aside, to block from inheritance, man. Esau is blocked from inheritance, man. Okay? That's why he doesn't have, all right, the promise of immortality, man. He doesn't have the promise of ruling forever. He doesn't have, all right, the promise of being the sons of God. He's blocked from that inheritance, man. Esau is a bastard in the earth, okay? And he's trying to force, his inheritance, all right, that's given to Jacob. He's trying to force that upon himself, man. Through technology, through left-hand means. But guess what? The Lord is going to throw that down. Let's prove that. All right, let's get some more. I think it's some more definition. It says a refusal, okay, reject now. It says refusal, denial, a castaway, okay. You see, a castaway. It said from reject or obsolete reject, man. Esau is rendered obsolete, man. Okay, and that's why his kingdom is gonna be voided out, man. All right, we finna see the Lord reject this man. All right, through war. Okay, Esau is going to be a castaway for good. He's going to go into captivity, and after that captivity, he's going to be a castaway for good. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, to let's get this in the GNT. Okay, because everything that Esau even is doing now will be rejected. Okay, let's get that in the book of Malachi, chapter 1. All right, this is the book of Malachi, chapter 1, verse 4. If Esau's descendants, the Edomites, say, all right, Esau's descendants, okay, which you so-called white people of the day, white man, woman, and child of today, and you have, some of our people that look like Edomites, okay, but that's the signature look of Esau. That's his mark that the Lord put on him, to have that red look, Okay, why we say so-called white. All right, but they got that pale, skin, which their blood shows through their skin. Which is a sign of warning and danger. All right, and you have Edomites that look like other nation terrors as well. All right, and the angels know who's who. Okay, but going because it's not a thing of color. All right, which color is a indicator. All right, but it's not the deciding factor if someone's an Edomite or not. Okay, it all goes back to the lineage. Okay, and then it's a spirit. Of Esau. Esau has a certain spirit, a certain characteristic. Okay, so going back into it says if Esau's descendants, the Edomites, say, our towns have been destroyed, but we will rebuild them. Then the Lord will reply, let them rebuild. I will tear them down again. People will call them the evil country and the nation with whom the Lord is angry forever. Okay, and that's the Lord rejecting this devil once again, man. Okay, and this time it's gonna be through war, America becoming a desert, and so forth and so on, man. So just wanted to get into that, man. Esau's rejected, man. All right, and we're gonna see the Lord reject this man. All right, through fire and through judgment. Okay, and this once and for all, man. And eventually, he's gonna be eradicated, man. Okay, Esau was created to be, a malfunction. Okay, in which the Lord would get rid of in a later date. Okay, and that's after that 1,000 years of captivity, man. So Lord will you brothers, all right, and you sisters edify once again, and give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders, GMS, who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers, and peace and blessings, salutations, hopefully, shalom.